Hello everybody, welcome back to KSP. So this is the Dooner Research Station, and our good buddy Burgess here is about to go for a trip on this, the Dooner Land Cruiser. My first ever rover, and my first ever interplanetary rover at that. So I landed this on Duna. This is a couple missions ago for me. Um, so I finally successfully landed on Duna, which is great. And also, I got my first rover down too, which is pretty awesome. Um, so let's take it for a little spin, why don't we? Alrighty, bring that ladder up. So yeah, today we're gonna do a couple different things actually. First, of course, is enjoy our stroll on Duna. Oh man, such a beautiful planet, so cool. And actually, the I didn't show you guys, but the lander has full fuel tanks. So it actually with nuclear engines. So assuming that it might be able to get off of the ground, it could definitely make it back to Kerbin if I decide to. I doubt I will because having Kerbals on Duna is pretty awesome. I lock the back steering, um, and it seems to make it a lot easier to control. So it does. It does have a tendency to flip if I get too crazy with the turns, though. I've had to go back to quick saves a couple times with this, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying having a rover on Duna. It's pretty cool. It did have fuel at one point. Um, Unfortunately, I used it all up. It only landed with maybe like 10 units, so it was gone pretty fast. Um, but other than that, yeah, I'm loving this little rover. It's pretty awesome. More of a car, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll call it a car. My tuner car. But anyway, let's call it a day for the rover, and move on to something else cool. Um, okay, so he's all good. Um, let's check out some of the other missions. First one, I think we should check out the J.S.S. Wisteria drive spaceship. Of course, this is my frigate. Um, so this craft is designed to have enough delta V to travel anywhere in the solar system and back. Um, it has a control group set up for. Actually, let's move it to the light side so you guys can take a look at it. Um, this is my first aesthetically designed ship, um, and I rather like it actually. It's pretty cool. Um, obviously, it's in parking orbit right now, ready for docking. So it's pointed north, but obviously, imagine that this is the head-on. um, but yeah, I think it looks great. Um, and I set up control groups for the engines. I have control group 1 is just the nuclear engines. And in this mode, the delta V is absolutely crazy. You'll also notice that I did install MechJeb. And this is one of the first ships I launched with MechJeb. I didn't use the Ascent Autopilot or anything like that, but I like having the delta V readout in the VAB and also the Smart ASS. Those are my two favorite functions in it. I would like to learn how to use the Translatron, um, but yeah, I'm working on it. I'll figure it out eventually. Um, uh, but yeah, vessel information is really nice. So with all of the engines fired, the two exterior poodles, which are control group 3, and the interior poodle, central poodle, which is control group 2, and the four nuclear engines, total delta V is about 7,000. But with just the nuclear engines alone, it's drastically more than that. All of these fuel tanks are full. When I got it into orbit, they were mostly empty. I had to bring a couple fuel tankers up to fill her up. But now she is absolutely ready to go for any kind of mission I'd like to take it on. I've got Jeb in the pilot seat, and Bill and Bob are hanging out in the hitchhiker's containment area, just a crew cabin. It's a lot more comfy in there, but Jeb, he doesn't like to give up the sticks, so that's where he's hanging out. But yeah, like I said, I sent a couple missions up here to refuel it. Um, Actually, I have a nice little fuel tanker that can come up to low Kerbin orbit with two of these fuel tanks full, which is pretty nice actually. That's a decent amount of fuel. So obviously took about three refueling trips to fill this guy up, but it was not bad. But yeah, so that's I don't think we're gonna do this mission today. I think this will be next mission on camera, but I would like to take this to Eeloo and back, and just to do it because that would be awesome. But I did just do another mission, and actually I recorded it, but the sound was so terrible that I had to delete it and start over. But I got a pretty cool space plane all the way to Lathe. Um, and you know, I have quite the love affair with Lathe. Um, you know, I have my way station here, which is in a horrible inclined polar orbit with no fuel. And Kerbals have been out here for like 8 years or something like that. I'm glad there's no life support yet. Um, but yeah, so this thing is it is possible to actually get it to get it to start flying after it enters the atmosphere, but it is incredibly difficult. I had to practice on Kerbin like 40 times before I even got it to work. And the problem is mainly that the massive amount of air intakes on the front. So there's the nacelles, the kind of radial intakes, and then the ramjets. All the drag in the front makes it really squirrely. And I don't think I have enough lateral stabilizers. I should have probably put bigger fins, you know, up on the sides here to control it laterally. Just because it's rough. It's really, really rough. But I think what we're going to do is attempt it anyway. So I would like to land somewhere on this patch of islands. So I would like a maneuver node right about here. And so I originally designed this back interplanetary section with some probe bodies and some solar panels and whatnot. So it theoretically could dock with the way station and give it some fuel, but it really doesn't have that much left. I was hoping for a lot more, and my interplanetary transfer to Joule was awful. So I really burned way too much of it. So I don't think it's going to make it to the way station. So we're just going to use these engines to help us get into the atmosphere a little bit. And I think really anywhere around there would be okay. So let's do that. And one of the other nice things about MechJeb is the you know, going to the node on the Smart ASS. That's just so nice. It's like unbelievably nice. Wow, it's already on the node, really? Weird. That's kind of awesome. So another thing I use it for is this warp to node. Really cool. Really, really cool. And because I'm already on my target node, I won't even have to reorient myself. Pretty sweet, right? I dig it. Okay, we're still going to be on the light side. That's all I really care about. But yeah, this is going to be incredibly difficult. So before we start burning, I'm going to quick save and hope this doesn't fail miserably, because it's very possible it will. I'm not even remotely close to kidding with you. So here we go. Let's hope for the best. It's probably not going to go well at all. Let's back up so it's a little bit quieter. I have so much trouble with the sound on this game. Oh, node please, node please. Node please. That's okay. Anywhere around there should be okay. We're actually going to... I found that the only way to really stabilize this thing is to kick in its actual rocket engine, and kind of keep the speed up. So I can probably, now that this is in a terminal orbit, decouple and activate my engines, and then turn engine set 1 off. Blow that out of the way. See you, buddy. It's been nice knowing you. So anyway, now we should turn prograde. Probably need some RCS for this. Oh man, spaceplanes are so cool. Hopefully I can get this thing landed. That is my plan. I don't want it to kind of go out with a boom. That would be sad. So yeah, we're gonna turn prograde, and then we will warp to the atmosphere. And at a certain point, I need to kick in the engines, and we're going to keep an eye on intake air. Okay, and prograde, please. Alright, I forgot to kill my maneuver node. I don't need that anymore. Okay. Alright, cool. So we will see some atmospheric entry effects very shortly. And I imagine they will be quite spectacular. Oh, it's such a cool plane. I love it. So one of the things while the testing I had some problems with was these engines being too low for the landing gear, so I stuck them up. Really? I didn't know I had light in the wheel. Anyway, must have accidentally put symmetry on that. No big deal. But yeah, I put some structure pieces right there with the wheel sitting on them, and these RCS tanks to balance it. I think they're actually empty at the moment, which isn't very good, but it's okay. Oh wow, look at that jewel rise, so cool. Oh man, come on, re-entry effects now. This should be perfect. I'm gonna get a screenshot. I think it's F2. Take a screenshot with fraps. Oh yeah, so awesome. Hold on, let's see if we can get some re-entry effects in the picture. Yeah, look at that. So sweet. Oh man, that is the coolest image I've seen in a Kerbal Space Program yet. So very shortly, this thing is going to get quite squirrely. So we want to throttle up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to wait till the atmospheric effects are dead. Oh my goodness, that looks so awesome with the RCS thrusters pulling a lot of fur. Oh, so cool. Wow. I love it. Okay. So we have entered the atmosphere, and let's pull up a little bit and push our prograde vector up slightly. We can turn the smart ASS off and just lock this. 6,000 meters, that's pretty good. If we turn our intake air on now, we're not going to get that squirrely. But we do need to raise our prograde vector so we're not falling. And I think we could probably kill the nuclear engine now. Oh, wow, that was flawless. Sweet. Oh, look at that. Got a plane and lathe. That is so cool. Alright, now the hard part is landing on this extremely rocky beach-like area. Oh man, this is going to be a mess. Alright, so let's take our thrust down a little bit. This thing actually flies really well when you're kind of at lower speeds. Just because of the center of mass, really. Uh-oh. Not perfect. Apparently not quite slow enough yet. Yeah, so, I mean, if you have a high-speed plane, you really want your center of lift to be behind your center of mass. And it is, actually, but just not quite enough. And the center of mass is somewhere around here because of the heavy engines. All three of the, or 5 of those, really? 3 pods. You know, are pretty heavy, and relatively the stuff up front is not so much. So it's really kind of back heavy, and it makes it a little bit difficult to fly at high speeds. But as you can see, now that we're down to like 200 meters a second, it's quite responsive. I don't have too much fuel, so I do want to land it pretty soon. Maybe we can get over here a little bit. Don't want to pull too far from my vector. Wow, flies like a dream. This is awesome. I guess I can put my gear down now, because I'm probably going to come in for a crash landing. And I don't need my orbital operations. Oh man, this is awesome. I'm so happy that worked. It really, like, it took me so long to even get it to the point where, like, that was possible. Um, I tested so many of these things. If you look at the surface of Kerbin in my save right now, it's just littered with like SSTO testing. And no, this is not a single staged orbit at all. I tried to make it one. Uh, I used like an aerospike in the back. I used a regular liquid fuel rocket. I tried pretty much everything, and it just was not possible to get it up to the speeds necessary to get into orbit. And I think it's just a little bit too heavy. So we are losing some of our maneuverability at this speed. But this looks like a good place to land. Oh my goodness, is this gonna work? I'm gonna crap myself. I just don't believe this. The problem, of course, is bringing this in at such an angle that it doesn't actually break the engines in the back, because they are quite long. Just pitching up a little bit to kill some forward momentum velocity, really. And we want to kind of land pretty quickly. There's our lights. Oh god, inclination, inclination!